So while browsing for other more functional components today, I went into a local shop called the Ramsey Warehouse, and one of the things they had was the Moonlight monsters, create and build with lights, and they had it discounted from about, supposedly, I think it was about 20 quid, it was down to 5 quid, and I thought, well, you know, it looks quite fun. Now, it looks to me, well, what I really want here is for these to be day-glow plastic with either blue or ultraviolet LEDs underneath making them light up, but I'm not holding my breath because, you know, the toy industry is notorious for deceiving, as I'm sure we all learnt when we were young. It also says contains 80 pieces, and that reminds me of these hardware sets that where you get a hardware set contains 80 pieces and approximately 70 of them are washers. So we'll see what we get inside here. I have high hopes. Right, this is promising. These are active electronic modules. Right, okay. This is looking good so far. Ooh. Instructions, we won't need those. Kind of, yeah, I'm not seeing what I'd call much in the way of fluorescent plastic. Oh, these aren't too bad. There's some fluorescent components in here. Is that it? I think that's it. So let's look at the electronic stuff first. Here's a battery pack. Let's get the other bits just shoved out the way at the moment. There's other little electrical connector bits. Okay. Quite a lot of these bricks, that's quite nice, that's a good start. Oh, blimey, it's child-proof packaging, as all toys tend to be put into, just to make life difficult for them. Right. So, going to have to use a screwdriver to put batteries in this, by the look of it. Is it going to be AA or AAA? AAA, which is a shame because it's always, they've got about a third the energy density of AA. Right. 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, not a big fan of the putting screws in battery packs. Right, okay. Alright, okay, that's an interesting start. They've got a little circuit board at the end here with a switch. These are just standard standalone flashing LEDs, aren't they? And by the look of it, they're just sort of patched across. This one here is just tucked onto the battery terminals with a wire flying from that little circuit board. I don't think the circuit board has much in the way of active electronics on it. Right, well, tell you what, I'll leave it on, plug it into these and hold the breath and hope it's something interesting. It's colour changing LEDs. Are they all colour changing LEDs? Looks like it. Yeah, it looks like they're all just colour changing LEDs. Which is slightly disappointing in the sense that it's a bit tacky. I think I'd rather have had the sort of blue or ultraviolet LEDs. It's quite nice you can join them side to side and end to end though. So yes, there's a common theme here of this flashing LED. I wonder why they've chosen the flashing LEDs. So are these openable? I think these are glued shut by the look of it. Let's look for one that's not got quite as much glue as the others. This one looks more promising. Yeah, it's childproof, that's annoying. Where's their sense of adventure? Oh, what can I squeeze this with? I shall squeeze it in the vise and see if we can make it make plaintive splintering noises. Oh, it's quite tough, I have to say. Although I could swear that flexed a little bit. That sounds more promising. Oh yes, and it's going funny shaped, so that's good. Slight fissures appearing in it, but that's okay. Oh, drat, this is glued together so well. How annoying. Oh, there we go. That looks more promising. Yeah, glued together. So inside is a support system, a fairly thick. Can we pop this out? So we've got a sort of pseudo plug connection system, which consists of the lower plate with springy tabs, and the upper plate, which is designed to be a sort of, I wouldn't say it's a tight fit into here. I think it's mainly relies on the plug being pressed up against it by the bottom plate to actually squish onto the sort of spike here as the middle pin. And the LED is just soldered across it. And in a way, that's a wee bit disappointing because if there'd been more room in here, or if there'd been a small circuit board or something, it's possible that a resistor could have been used, and it would have meant that's probably why they're using these colour changing LEDs, because it's easier. They can just supply them with the 4.5 volts directly from the battery pack, and it just powers them directly. Because the colour changing LEDs, the little chip that changes the colour inside, effectively, the transistor that it uses to switch the LEDs acts as a resistor as well, so it sort of self limits the current. So the only other way you could get round that is if you used a common resistor in this with a... No, that's not going to... That's going to mean you'd have to use all the blocks if you wanted just the parallel resistors. I suppose if you were ingenious about it, you could patch a resistor across from here onto the leads. You could get a wee bit ingenious, but it's quite footery, and it doesn't help the fact they're glued together. Let's see if I can put this back together in a manner that doesn't immediately short circuit. Maybe not. But anyway, I think I shall build this thing up anyway. Oh, I'll tell you what, that's because I'm putting it, it's supposed to go in diagonally, isn't it? Okay, so I'm going to build this thing up, and maybe just glue that back together again, perhaps. Let's see if I've blown it up yet. I'll stick another pin in and shove it in there and see if it malfunctions and shorts everything out. No, it's working. Okay, rightio. I'm going to do an Ashen style jump cut where I suddenly take this pile of electronic junk and end up with the finished model. Yeah, well, that's not lurid. It appears to be an education in the perils of colour subtraction, because some of the panels are just filtering out specific colours. But having said that, it doesn't look too bad. It looks quite lurid and varied. It's quite an amusing ornament in a way, including Betty here, who's obviously doing a runner with these handbags. Very odd. It's handbags are a prominent theme. This is presumably, I think it's supposed to be a display shop, and it's got like the display mirror, and it's got stickers to stick in them, but I thought that was just taking tacky too far. And it's got the till, and it's got the little handbag here, and a little handbag in a display case here. Loads of handbags. It's just like handbag central. So, and this strange gothic-y, quite nice, this sort of goth bat thing on a table. But yes, it's lurid, but actually, yeah, it lights. So yeah, I kind of like it actually. It's quite amusing more than anything else. I suppose that technically speaking, with a resistor, you could run the whole thing off a USB lead as well. But yeah, it's quite amusing.